Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Second and None podcast live on Thanksgiving morning. We're here. Yes, it's Turkey Day, and we're going to go ahead and get things out of the way early this morning as we already have SEC action that's going to be kicking off today, TK. We have the Egg Bowl that we're going to break down. We're going to be breaking down the Iron Bowl. South Carolina, Clemson, Louisville, Kentucky, LSU, Texas A&M. So we're going to hit all these, and we're not even going to insult people's intelligence. Georgia's going to blow out Georgia Tech, so we don't have to really, preview that game too much. But TK, Turkey Day, man, what are you and your family doing today on this Thanksgiving Day?
Man, I got my Rec Tech 590 going. It's
Shout
going
out
right
to Rec
now.
Tech.
Shout out to Rec Tech. Got my Rec Tech going. Man, I'm gonna throw some turkey legs on. I'm a fried turkey. So I'm out there today. I'm out there, Blayne.
TK is doing turkey six ways. Any way you can do it.
Big chef guy right here.
Big chef guy. He's that dude. No, but we're excited to be breaking down some football. TK, we're gonna give them all the everything they need to know, because a lot of people, on Thanksgiving, they're there with their family. It's a nice good time, but they still want to get that little sweat in on terms of some college football. You know what I'm saying? They want to feel that action a little bit, even some NFL football, all that kind of stuff. There's going to be NFL games today. There's going to be college games, probably some basketball going on. So with it, Thanksgiving, you know what that means. It means football is what we're saying, and nothing goes better with turkey than betting, guys, and we're got you covered. Bet Online has you covered all holiday season for major props, odds, and lines. More than ever before, Bet Online, it remains your number one spot for all your sports action this Thanksgiving. So head on over to the new updated mobile or desktop website to sign up today and receive 50% welcome bonus with the promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. Guys, it's not just football. BetOnline has pro and college hoops. It has boxing. It has UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. So don't wait to take advantage of the amazing offers available in the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. So make sure to head on over to BetOnline this Thanksgiving if you choose to put a little extra on the line. But TK just kind of wanted to, let you. We won't even have to break it down in detail, because we're not going to insult people's intelligence here. Like I said, with a good old fashioned hate Georgia Tech, but Georgia's just going to wipe the floor with them this week.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely fully expect them to just stomp them. Tech's had a rough outing. Tech's had a rough year. Coach Collins has got those guys kind of doing some special things. I definitely think he's got the program headed
He's doing
in the
his
right direction.
best, man.
Yeah. I think he's got the program headed in the right direction for sure. But this Georgia team's a little too much for him. Recruiting is a little tough in Atlanta, obviously right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I just think we're just a little too hot to handle right now.
No doubt. Yeah, Georgia, I think the line there was 35.5. I say if you are going on Bet Online, you take that easy money, because Georgia's gonna put it on them. They want to be clicking on all cylinders going in to that SEC championship game. I think the biggest thing there for Georgia, TK, is to look efficient and explosive on offense, the way that they want to look, and also to stay healthy.
Yo, we gotta talk about this. My fault. How's Brock Bowers not on the Mackey Award list, bro?
Yeah, those awards, man. Sometimes there's a little bit of bias there. I saw you and my guy Roddy Nabolsi chopping it up, and he made the point, that sometimes people forget about Bowers because he didn't even get to play in the fourth quarters and stuff. And you were like, hey, that's even more reason with his numbers that it should be up. So I think there's probably a little bit of bias there against him on that, being a freshman and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on the Georgia Bulldogs today, just because everybody knows what's going to be happening this weekend in Atlanta. They're going to, just absolutely take care of business versus Georgia Tech as they head into the SEC championship. But TK, you can see, if you're watching on the 365 Sports YouTube channel, you can see scrolling across the bottom that we have all the lines and the over-unders of these matchups. But TK, we got to start off here, man, with that Egg Bowl matchup, because it's today. tonight at 7:30 Eastern, we're going to have Lane Kiffin and Mike Leach going at it here in the Egg Bowl. I mean, is there anything, if you're just a pure football fan, is there anything more you could want with those two personalities coming against each other? Matt Corral on one side, Will Rogers on the other. I mean, this is if you like points in a game and you like fun football, this is your type of game.
I would have to agree with you. It's going to be a fun game. I will be tuned in for sure. You got two high flying offenses, two masterful offensive minds. I myself would definitely be tuned in. But here's the thing, dude. Will Rogers is a baller too.
Oh yeah, Will Rogers.
He
You heard what Steve? I don't know if you heard, but Steve Spurrier. They asked him who his Heisman trophy, because it's kind of so up for grabs.
he said Will Rogers.
Steve Spurrier said Will Rogers is who I'd give the Heisman
Well,
to.
listen, bro. The kid's completing 76% of his passes in an air raid offense. Air raid.
Yeah,
That means you're throwing the
yeah,
ball a
you're
shit
throwing it a
ton.
lot.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what's the stats on it? I think he's thrown it 572 times. I think he's got 432 completions. 76%, bro. That's pretty damn impressive.
Well, and here's what people are going to say. They're like, oh, well, he's throwing a lot of short screens and stuff like that. Well, guess what? There's still more opportunities out there to be inaccurate with the
Right.
football when you do that. We ran wing T in high school, TK. My old high school coach said, when you throw the ball, three things can happen and two of them are bad. You know what I'm saying? So, so we'll see
he got a point right there, though.
Yeah. Well, Will Rogers, like you said, is playing some great football. But TK, the line on this one, Mississippi State 2.5-point favorites at home, and the over/under is 64. Man, that's they're saying maybe a little bit more defense might be played in this one than some people think. 64. A lot of people are saying hammer the over there on that one. When you have Matt Corral and you have Snoop Connor, and you have Jerrion Early over there on Ely on the Ole Miss side, and then of course Mississippi State with Will Rogers and the weapons that he has out around him. It would seem like there would be some points scored in this game. But TK, you and I, every time we've come up against one of these matchups, it seems that Zach Arnett's defense, the Ole Miss defense kind of steps up a little bit more than one would think. And so what is your overall thoughts on how this game may play out tonight on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I mean it's like we said at the beginning, it's gonna be a high flying one. It's gonna be electric. Where's it played?
It's at Mississippi State.
Rangalang, dangalang.
Rangalang, dangalang. They're gonna have the cowbells.
Them damn cowbells gonna be going crazy. They're gonna be sauced up tonight. But you know me, man. I've been riding this Lane train. Matt Corral is a baller. I think he's got so many weapons outside to not utilize.
Yeah.
So I think Ole Miss gets it done by 3. I think they get it done by 3. They go in there, upset them 31-28.
No concerns about, all the rumors, Lane Kiffin to back to USC, Lane Kiffin to Miami, Lane Kiffin to LSU. It seems like to Florida, any job that's open, it seems that Lane Kiffin name pops up. So no concerns of distractions or anything like that. You've been in those situations, TK, where coaches are rumored for jobs and things like that. So how much do you think that'll play into it? Because this isn't the only game we'll talk about that in.
Yeah, I think that comes into play a little bit if he doesn't address it.
If shut it down.
Yeah, if he doesn't address it, if he doesn't shut it down, I think it comes into play for some guys. Some guys might not be thinking about that at all. Some guys are thinking about themselves in their job, doing what they're supposed to do. So, I don't think it plays too much of a factor. I think guys are probably at this point in the season focused on the end goal. It's the end of the year. So
And also, I was going to ask you, do you think this may realistically be the last time we see Matt Corral in college? Because, a lot of these guys, he's already said he's going to the NFL. A lot of these guys sit out their bowl games. They don't play in the bowl game. I mean, do you think with him being a quarterback and honestly maybe being one of the top 2 or 3 picks in the draft, do you think there's a chance he could sit out that bowl game?
100%. There's not a lot that he has to do. He has to prove from a game film perspective. Um, there's not a lot that he has to prove. He'll get visits. He'll get all the visits he wants to have.
Yeah.
uh, he'll get the visits. He'll get workouts. So he's gonna. I think he's gonna go take care of his body, focus up, work, get QB ready. Probably goes. Yeah. Well, you ain't gonna see Gruden, but he ain't going to Gruden
He ain't
school.
gonna see Gruden anymore.
Yeah.
Gruden's been
Yeah,
blackballed, I think.
he ain't going to Gruden school. But things like that, he'll probably go train up, get ready, and try to be the best quarterback that he can be in the NFL.
Yeah, they've got some young talent they're gonna groom there. Who knows? They could even join over John Rice Plumlee back over there in there once again. Lane Kiffin has a kind of love relationship with John Rice Plumlee over there. He's moved into receiver and stuff like that, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, in terms of this game, TK, I am intrigued to see just which versions of these teams come out. I mean, Mississippi State, they had a clunker earlier this year in against LSU at home in a day game where everybody was like, okay, Mississippi State, they're kind of up and down this year. They hit the mark sometimes. Beat a talented Texas A&M team the week before Texas A&M goes and beats Alabama. So and then like I said, they've lost to LSU. They've beat a good Kentucky team. So it is a kind of mixed bag. I mean, right here sitting at 7-4 at this point in the year, and trying to figure out what they're going to do. That Makai Polk is a playmaker. They've got Jaden Wally that they can hit as well. Will Rogers has a lot of weapons. I think what you're going to see is, even TK, as weird as it sounds, with 2 high flying offense, whichever one is able to stop the other one from running the ball efficiently. I'm not saying either one is going to, just pound the rock, but Ole Miss likes to run it a little bit more, of course, than Mississippi State does. But I think if Mississippi State is going to win this ball game, they're going to have to do so by running the ball efficiently, getting Dylan Johnson going, getting Jaquavius Marks going, and they need, 4 yards of carry when they do run it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be a thing where they can just barely run the football. But ring-a-lang, jang-a-lang, those cowbells going on over there in that stadium, and Mike Leach, I do think the distractions maybe outside of with Lane Kiffin and all these jobs are going to take a toll on this Ole Miss team. I like Ole Miss, and Lane Kiffin didn't exactly endear himself to Ole Miss fans this week. Somebody asked him, "Do you think the Ole Miss fans will travel well to Mississippi State?" He said, "Well, seeing as our fans didn't travel well at home last week," he said, "I don't know that they'll make the trip over to Starkville."
Hey, my boy is funny though. Like he
Yeah,
gonna call,
Lane Kiffin was not too
he
happy
gonna
with
call
that
you
Ole
out.
Miss.
He don't care.
He was not happy with that Ole Miss crowd. So I'm going to say a little bit more minimum, getting Mississippi State to 8 wins. So we're going to split on this one, but I am saying this thing's going to be a shootout. I'm taking the over, man. I'm going to take Mississippi State to win in a wild one. This one may even go overtime. I'm going to take Mississippi State to win 45-42 in this one. This is going to be a field goal late after Mike Leach opened up kicking tryouts with his kicker missing like 5 field goals in a game a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to say the young man redeems himself, and Mississippi State wins this one by a field goal at the end. So, TK, that's that one, the Egg Bowl. Now we got to talk about it. Here it is once again, the Iron Bowl. Every year, you have Alabama Crimson Tide and Auburn Tigers face each other in the year. Usually there's the SEC West on the line. I mean, there's a lot of, heavy consequences usually attached to this game. But this year, TK, it's going to be a little bit more lopsided, at least according to Vegas. Alabama, 19.5-point favorite. over under is 55. So they're not the implied total puts Auburn down there, not scoring many points in this game at all. So TK, what is your opinion with Bryce Young? Him and CJ Stroud or Ohio State are kind of neck and neck for the Heisman race right now, and he's heading into Jordan-Hare Stadium. This will be his first time being the guy going over there, but Alabama trying to exercise some of those Jordan-Hare Stadium demons, TK, because they haven't won this game since 2015 in Jordan-Hare Stadium. So what do you think about the Alabama Crimson Tide visiting the Auburn Tigers on Saturday?
Well, first thing first,
I'm the
Bryce Young.
realist.
First thing first, I'm the realist. Yes, sir, indeed. But no, Bryce Young, bro, is he's a special player. I believe we talked about him last episode. Broke a record last outing at Bama, throwing for I think
559 yards.
559, 5 TDs, no picks. So he's a real deal. But I think the concern, is how many touches is Brian Robinson gonna get?
My Lord.
How
Dude
many?
had
How many?
30 touches in that game last week.
Right. How many touches is he gonna get? Because the following week, what they got to go to Atlanta.
There's gonna be a lot of ice and stem going on, TK. Like
oh
you
yeah,
a
my
lot
boy
of
gonna be
ice and
like
stem.
this. Yeah, man. How many touches he's getting is what I'm looking at. And then for Auburn, can TJ Finley bounce back? Can he bounce back? Can he
Complete more
prove?
than 50%.
Yeah. Can he prove that he's a guy, the guy? Because he's shown it in flashes. But we just got to see it all come together.
Well,
But
are they gonna give Tank Bigsby the ball? That's the question. Auburn needs to do what Alabama has done. Alabama's given the ball way more than probably any SEC back should be given the ball with Brian Robinson because of lack of depth at running back.
Here's the question to that: have they had to?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've really had to give it to him because they're down to 2 scholarship running backs. I mean, they could give Trey Sanders the ball a little bit more, but when it comes down to it, TK, as well as I do, with guys like Kirby Smart and with guys like Nick Saban and even guys, old school, just those more old school mentality coaches, if they don't trust you, they're not going to put the ball in your hands. And Trey Sanders has been a little bit up and down. And he's had injuries that he's had to deal with. And, who knows? We'll see what happens. It was a tight ball game. They rolled with B-Rob last week. So, but Auburn needs to take that blueprint, right? They need to give Tank Bigsby the ball. He had 22 carries last week. He needed to have 32 carries in that game. I mean, he runs downhill. He is decisive in cuts. So I'm looking to see him load up Tank Bigsby. And to be honest with you, Alabama's front, they allowed Arkansas. It was only 110 yards overall rushing last week, but there were times, TK, and we saw times in the LSU game where Alabama would let those chunk runs, you know what I'm saying? Those 6, 7, 8 yard runs that you typically don't see out of a Nick Saban coach defense. And we'll have to see if Auburn can manufacture some of those.
I think they will. One thing that I know about Coach Mike Bobo is that he indeed loves to run the ball. Loves it. And hopefully, obviously, that's something that they want to do. And with Jarquez Hunter and Tank, it's something that you should do because it's going to open up things for I think a receiver group that struggled throughout the year. That's kind of been like this throughout the year.
Yeah.
And that if you're running the ball good, another thing I know Coach Bobo loves, play action, is going to be there. So I mean,
then your chance to hit Kobe Hudson over the top, Demetrius Robinson, because if there's one weakness of this Alabama team, TK,
oh yeah, it's definitely the secondary.
Those safeties in the back even had some problems at corner. If they could get some matchups, maybe Tank Bigsby or Jarquez Hunter, matched up maybe even a Tyler Fromm, anybody like that matched up on a linebacker, because Henry To'oTo'o doesn't run very well. I mean, he's a tackling machine, but he does not run very well. So we'll see if they can. I know that's going to be part of Georgia's plan when they face. But TK, overall, do you think Alabama covers the 19.5, and do you like that over under of 55?
I think they do cover. Actually, I think they cover for sure. Nick Saban said something the other day in the interview. He said a two loss team is scary. A 2-loss team is scary. So he's not looking past Bama. They're not looking past Bama. So I think they're gonna come out firing on full tilt.
Yeah, he's saying anybody who's just lost a couple of games, he was saying that they still want to play and they still want to get better and they still want to do all that too.
Right.
He went on a little bit of rant on his radio show there, saying you Alabama fans now you're not thankful for just winning games. You want to criticize everybody. So old Nick, finding something to get a little bit of the get a little hot around the collar about, just so he can motivate his team a little bit. And it's also been suggested too that he just wanted to do something to kind of one up Kirby's leaked audio from that Florida game a couple weeks ago. He wanted to try to get his name in the conversation for something, but we'll see what happens with all that. But what's your score for this one?
My score, I'm gonna take Bama 48-17.
48-17. So it is an absolute waxing in Jordan-Hare Stadium. You know what? I feel like Brian Harsin, if he's half the competitor that I think he is, if Mike Bobo and that crowd are half the competitor I think that they are, I think that they keep it close early. I do think they find ways. Crazy stuff happens in this game at Jordan-Hare Stadium. I mean, it's and even with it's not Alabama, that there's crazy stuff that happens.
I wish I didn't know.
Oh, I know. I mean, that prayer in Jordan-Hare, you were there for it. Everybody, of course, remembers the kick six. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that happens. I do think Alabama wins this football game, and I think they cover, but I think it's a backdoor cover late. It's a touchdown late, because I think this one stays within around a 13-point range, maybe late in the third quarter, and then they add a touchdown late. So I'm going to give Alabama to cover. I'll say they do so. I'll say they do so 42-20, and I'm going to give them that late touchdown there in the fourth. So we're both taking the over, both taking Alabama to cover. Now, TK, one that we're not going to spend a ton of time on, but I thought it was interesting. Texas A&M 6.5-point favorites on the road at LSU. This is Ed O's last game coaching there in Baton Rouge. Over under is only 46.5. These offenses have looked ugly, man. I mean, whether it's Garrett Nussmeier or Max Johnson for LSU, neither one of them have been tremendous. Zach Calzada, he's had his struggles here lately for Texas A&M, putting points on the board. I think they got to get the ball to Isaiah Spiller, but like I said, we're not going to spend a ton of time on that one. Just kind of wanted to get your overall thoughts and then a quick score prediction there from you on Texas A&M traveling to LSU.
Yeah, this will probably be a defensive focused game. Zach Calzada hasn't looked the same. Texas A&M hadn't looked the same since they beat them. Really, they beat them and went to the club.
Bama hangover for the rest of the year, huh?
Yeah, they beat them and went to the club. So I mean, they hadn't looked the same. I fully expect this LSU bunch to play hard for Coach O to send him out on a high note for sure. I think that they have played better and better as the year has gone on. They played better.
They played Alabama tough. I mean, I know Texas A&M beat Alabama, but they played Alabama tough on the road, whereas Texas A&M beat them at home. So yeah, I can see. I mean, Coach O's never been he's never been one to not be able to motivate guys, right? Like, so it's his last game. He's gonna throw everything kitchen sink. He'll be going for it on 4th down on his own 5-yard. He don't care. What are they gonna do? Fire him? I mean, he's going after it.
No, and I fully expect them to see everything, like you said, the kitchen sink thrown, because it's his last game, and they've gotten better defensively, bro. We were talking about them at the beginning of the year defensively.
Yeah.
Oh, it was bad. We was talking, yeah, it was bad. So now to see them playing with energy, a lot more effort,
And they're
is
playing to get
good.
bowl eligible too. They're 5-6 right now.
So yeah, I mean they got yeah, hell yeah, bro. They got a lot to play for. What's TAMU's record?
TAMU, they've got a winning record. I think they're 8-3, something along those lines. But LSU is going to definitely be playing hard in this one. I know that Edo wouldn't get to coach a bowl game or anything like that, but we'll see what happens. Still, that's important for getting bowl practices and all those kind of things. But I overall, I just think Texas A&M has too much first round talent there, in the trenches. Man, that Caden Green, he's all had an All-American type season on the offensive line, and then when you come talking about DeMarvin Lill over there on the defensive line, I think there's just too much consistency over there. I don't know if that's 6.5. I don't know. I don't really like that number a lot. I don't know if I like Texas A&M to beat them by a touchdown. I think it could be even a field goal game, especially there at Baton Rouge. So I'm going to take Texas A&M to win this game 24-20 over LSU.
Mm, I'm down with that. Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty mid scoring. So I'd probably say I'm taking TAMU as well to win. I'm gonna say 28 17.
So he is taking him to cover. TK is taking him to cover. We're both taking A&M. TK is taking him to cover. I'm not. The over is going to be close. We'll see on the over under that. You just kind of use your better judgment there. Also, we have the South Carolina Gamecocks hosting the Clemson Tigers. TK, Clemson is an 11-point favorite. I'm telling you, with the way that Clemson has played offensively this year, I know that they had a little explosion there against Wake Forest, but let's be honest, Wake Forest's defense couldn't play dead in the Western. TK, I mean it's rough. They give up a lot. They've been in shootouts all year long, and they just couldn't. It finally caught up with them where Sam Hartman and that crew they weren't able to. They weren't going to be able to hang 40 on that South Carolina on that Clemson defense, because they're pretty stout still on defense. I think, Georgia saw that earlier in the year. Clemson can play some defense, but that offense has been the struggle. So you got Shane Beamer's team, who had just beat Auburn. They beat Florida earlier this year. They're rolling. They're bowl eligible. How big would it be for year one Shane Beamer to dethrone Dabo there in this Palmetto State rivalry?
It would be huge. We talked about it last episode. Shane Beamer and this South Carolina team trajectory has been crazy. I told you, if you would have told me that they would have been in this position, beating who they've beaten after playing us, I would have laughed at you.
Us being Georgia, everybody, just so you know, TK identifies with the red and black. It's when he says us, he's talking about them dogs.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, I believe red and black. But I mean, I would have laughed, bro, if you'd have told me that they'd be in this position, beating in Auburn, beating the Florida. Obviously, that's not saying much, but they look good. What he's done with this program is phenomenal, and beating Dabo would be huge. That being said,
Oh, he's got a prop here. What we going with? He's taking a picture off the wall.
Pops played it. Pops played at Clemson. I bleed
Okay.
orange too, baby. I can't do it to you. I can't do it to you, man.
Anthony King played at Clemson. All right, so
I can't do it to you, man. I can't do it to you. I'm gonna have to take the Tigers in this one, man.
do you like him to cover
Um,
11 points?
nah. not 11, bro. That's a little too much. But
What's your score in this one?
I do like when we're going 35-28 Tigers.
35-28. Okay, so he's definitely taking the over. Listen, if South Carolina puts up 28 points on this one, they're gonna have a good shot to win this game, in my opinion, because Clemson has just been so anemic on offense this year. It just seems like DJ Uiagalelei has been disjointed from those receivers. They tried to bench him and bring in the quarterback whose last name I can't pronounce. It looks like pharmaceutical tech on the back of his jersey is what it looks like to me. I can't pronounce it, but they saw that real quick and they said, "Oh, never mind, DJ, we messed up, boo. You come back in. Let's put you back in here." So even though you're not doing very good right now, Dr. Pepper wants their money back, but we'll talk about that after the season. Yeah, no, but we'll see what happens with Clemson right here. But 8-3, not where they wanted to be. You got to question a little bit of motivation here. We're going to see, how this South Carolina is going to be juiced for this game. They're going to be up for this game, and we'll see if Clemson can match that mentality.
It's in Death Valley.
No, it's at South Carolina.
Sandstorm.
Yeah, sandstorm. It's going to be all this kind of stuff jumping over there. They're only averaging 26.5 points a game this year. Clemson is, and whereas South Carolina 23.3. So I don't know, TK. I like the Magic. I'm going to go some Beamer ball. I'm saying the Gamecocks upset the Clemson Tigers right here. And your guy Roman Harper on the SEC Network said that South Carolina was going to win and win by double digits. Man, he's like going all in with nothing but his feet hanging out over there on the Gamecocks. But I say it's going to be a close one. It's going to be dramatic. It's going to be somebody like Josh Vann hitting a play late in this one, or maybe Zaquandre White with a little goal line run at the end. We got my man Jason Brown, who's from St. Francis College of D3, never heard of it before, moving over and playing ball all of a sudden, going out there. So Jason Brown at quarterback. Give me the Gamecocks. I'm going to take them to win this one in a nail biter, and I'm going to take them to win. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a rock fight, TK. I'm gonna go on the under because I like both of these defenses. Also, that is another point. I like the defense of South Carolina here. Kingsley Enagbare and Zach Pickens. They're the sack leaders for South Carolina. They're kind of the bookends of that defense. I like them to get after DJ Uiagalelei here. I'm gonna take South Carolina to win this one, 27-21 on a late touchdown. Who knows? It could be overtime. It could be whatever. But I'm going to take South Carolina to win this ball game. And TK, we're going to close out rivalry week here with the Kentucky Wildcats facing the Louisville Cardinals. TK, we've both liked Kentucky all year. We really thought they had it kind of figured out. And we talked earlier about distractions, right? Well, Mark Stoops' name is being just as hot, thrown around there, the same as Lane Kiffin, man. He's been mentioned for the LSU job. He's been mentioned for the Florida job. He's been mentioned for the USC job. So Mark Stoops, it's a testament to what he's built over there at Kentucky. But having said that, TK, they're a 3-point underdog on the road at Louisville, and Louisville has not exactly been a pillar of success this year. They are 6-5 over there in the ACC, and you have Kentucky with the opportunity to still have a 10-win season. They're 8-3 right now. This could be win number 9 for them, and then a 10th win in the bowl game. That's huge when you can do that at Kentucky. But how do you think all that dynamics plays into it? Mark Stoops' name out there, part of coaching searches. He hadn't been extended yet, anything like that. So what's your overall thoughts of the Wildcats heading over to Louisville?
One thing, just peeking at it from just off the rip, you talked about it. We love this team all year long. Will Levis and that crew, offensively, Wandell, as well as the Mark Stoops defense. But Louisville's a good team. You got to think about how solid they played a Cincinnati game 1. They looked really good versus them in that first game. And you got to look at what Cincy's doing now, and And think about that. Like those guys play football too. They line up and do their thing. So I think that throughout the year they've gotten better. Um, so yeah, Will Levis and them have their work cut out for them. Obviously, what's my man Desmond Ritter? He got it done. Let's see if Will can get it done.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes there. I like, and when he talks about Scott Satterfield, I like Scott Satterfield. He's a good coach. He can design some unique things in that offense. I think what Kentucky has to be able to do, TK, is Malik Cunningham is a tremendous dual threat quarterback. I mean, he's 70 or he's 67 yards from rushing for 1,000 yards, and he already has almost 2,600 yards passing. So it's a very dynamic quarterback led offense right here. It's all about what Malik Cunningham can do with his legs and his arm in there together. So DeAndre Square, all the guys on that Kentucky defense, Yusef Corker, Josh Paschal, they're all going to have to remain after it here and, try to – I know they're going to want to go out on top because a lot of those guys are going to be heading to the league. I was a little surprised that Kentucky was a 3-point underdog here. I think Kentucky overall is a better team than Louisville. I think that so I'm going to take Kentucky to win this ball game. I think Will Levis and Chris Rodriguez, the physicality of the Kentucky offense, they just have to keep from turning the ball over, right? It's when the turnover bug has gotten them that they've lost games this year. So I'm going to say they secure the ball, and I am going to say that Kentucky wins this game and takes care of business 31-21 over Louisville.
You heard my wow. I just wrote down 31. So check it out. I agree with you, man. I think that they get it done for sure. Again, I love Will Levis and what he brings to this offense. I'm a big Wan'Dale Robinson fan. But I think the key to this game for real is what they're gonna do on the ground. I think what's my man, Chris Rodriguez, I think he's a baller in the backfield. So I think he gets it done. I'm gonna call it 31-24 Kentucky Wildcats.
There we go. So a quick little recap. That's all of our previews and predictions there. If you missed it, go ahead and hit that rewind button, slide all back there and catch all those previews and updates that we did. We previewed the Egg Bowl. TK likes Ole Miss. I'm taking the Pirate and Mike Leach over there to win. Alabama, Auburn, we both like the Crimson Tide to cover and win. TK's taking Clemson for family reasons over there. Pop's playing at Clemson, like you said over there. I'm taking South Carolina just because I think South Carolina is going to have more motivation and a little bit more momentum under Shane Beamer going into this one. We both like Texas A&M. TK likes them to cover. I think it's going to be just they're barely not going to cover, but we both like Texas A&M to win at LSU and both like Kentucky on the road versus Louisville. So TK, we're almost there. We're almost there for the game that everybody wants to see is Georgia, Alabama, and we need to make sure in the SEC championship game, and we need to make sure that everybody tunes in on Sunday night. Sunday night, you and I, we're going to be doing a live breakdown, and it is going to be nothing but Georgia and Alabama because that is the only SEC game that there will be that week. We're not even going to worry about reactions to these games unless something crazy happens like Auburn beats Alabama, then that'll just be part of our preview. But we're going to preview in depth. I mean, we may go an hour on this thing. Who knows? It's going to be a detailed preview. TK and I live on Sunday night. We'll go 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central Time, and we will be in there talking it up, chopping it up, everything about Georgia, Alabama. TK, I'm excited to talk about the SEC championship on Sunday night.
Yeah, I'm hyped too, bro. It's one that we want, obviously, as Georgia fans. So yeah, we're excited from a Georgia fan base, but from SEC.
Your boy got his credential this week. I'm gonna be on the field during the SEC championship game.
Check him out. Look at him.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Check him out.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there too. I'll be down there.
You gotta come down there and see me before the game. I'll be good.
Yeah, I will, bro. You know I will.
It's
For
gonna be
sure.
good. But TK and I are gonna break that whole thing down. And we're not done when football season's done, right? TK, we're gonna be football season never stops. We're gonna be diving heavy into recruiting once the season's over with. We're gonna be talking about all these coaching changes and what these programs can expect going forward. TK played in the NFL. He played at Georgia in college. So we're going to have guests on during the week. It'll be just talking to people about things, reminiscing on stuff, all good stuff. So make sure you do us
you
a
got a
favor.
guest back there, little homie. Test it. What up?
Stetson just woke up. My man Stetson. Stetson, can you wave? Yeah, Stetson's coming on here, so he just woke up. So I've got him woke up. I'm gonna have to get off this thing, but come here, Stetson. Say hello to everybody. Where you at, man? All right, so we're about to sign off here, but guys, thank you so much for joining us. And go ahead and hit the like button; that helps us out a lot. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Also, if you help us out by going to the podcast downloads, okay, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, you can hit it all up on there. Search Second to None or search my name, Blayne Gilmer, TK's name, Tavarres King. Follow us on Twitter. And guys, we will catch you, like I said, on Sunday night. What's up, TK?
Stetson say go Dogs.
TK wants you to say go Dogs. Can you say go Dogs?
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. There he is right there. So we'll catch you on Sunday night for a preview of Georgia versus Alabama in the SEC Championship. We're presented by Bet Online, and we will catch you next time, guys.